Hey guys, back with another one. This time we're going to be doing something in Modern, and I'm going to be doing things a little different this time. I'm going to be showing you the deck list prior to the game. The only awkward thing is that it will have to show me queuing, so there might be some downtime there. I'll probably pause it and come back. I haven't really decided yet, but I think this will be a little better getting an idea of the deck list before you see it happen. As you can see, we are playing Merfolk this time. And I do still plan on providing the deck list at the bottom so you guys can see precisely anytime you want to look back on it. Um, Something to know about this list is that it is missing a few pieces in the main board, and by a few I mean one piece, and that is Mutavault with the mana. I currently do not have the pocketbook to afford a $30 a piece land just because the deck does need the man land. I decided to replace it with Fairy Conclave. Unfortunately, it is much worse. Comes into play tapped, costs 2 to activate, and doesn't scale with all of the lords. It does have flying. It's really about it, but a lot of the times your Merfolk are unblockable anyway because they have Island Walk, and giving them access to the Island Walk with Spreading Seas. So, a quick walkthrough is pretty generic. It's almost identical creature-wise to a Legacy version. You get your Cormhell commanders, your curse catchers, your lords, and all three lords here. Well, I guess Cormhelm is a lord for the most part. The only thing different creature-wise is I play 2 Snapcaster mages, and a lot of times this will take the place of like rainstorms or the standstills. Most people would play as many lords as they can, and I can understand. I have one less Lord of Atlantis because it's worse than Master of the Pearl Trident, and it helps a little. Having less of him helps a little in the mirror. A lot of times I might even board him out. It just really depends. But Snapcaster is really good because a lot of your spells that are disruptive or used as permission aren't as powerful as it would be in Legacy, so this kind of lets you rebuy it, and also you have to play removal in the modern version. Uh, the versions of this can really vary. Like you can play Mana Leaks, you can play Remands, uh, or even Deprives. I play Remand and Spell Pierce because I think that they complement each other very well. A lot of the time, you're just wanting to protect you guys and get in for the last few points of damage, so Spell Pierce is good. Plus, it's also a lot easier to flash back with Snapcaster. Some people mainboard the Disrupting Shoals. I don't like the card disadvantage. Um, I've really been trying to decide between Spreading Seas and not Spreading Seas in the main board and adding more creatures, but most of the time in competitive modern, they're going to have mainboard islands, so Spreading Seas isn't necessary in the main board. You'll just board it in against decks that have tight mana like Jund or decks that abuse non-basic lands like Tron. But I mainboard it giving the metagame here in Magic Online. A lot of the time I need to get the Island Walk at cantrips, and it a lot of time just messes up their mana base enough to sure win. But really, the only thing missing for this build that I want to be using here is replacing this with the Mutavaults, but that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Now on the sideboard, this is absolutely terrible. This is nothing I want, and it's just a coincidence that it's a bunch of 3-ofs. That's not usually how I would operate. I don't have adequate sideboard cards. Like this would become Relic of Progenitus. This would probably become Torpor Orb. I might keep a couple of each of these, but everything else would change. Sleep is the only thing that might be reasonable, but I would prefer to have and I might even mainboard them. I would prefer to have Phantasmal Image, but that's also unavailable to me at the moment. One last thing to note is playing one less Lord over the Core Helm. I actually am one of the few people that prefer Core Helm over the others, even though the Lords here give immediate bonuses. The Core Helm I find is a much better card in and of itself. So we're just gonna go ahead and try to find a game here. Well, we might have one right here. Would be fortunate. Yep. So looks like you guys don't have to wait quite as long. That's, I guess, good news. And we won the die roll. This hand looks okay, a little slow, but I have the file, so I'll go ahead and keep it. Opponent's playing a little slow here. There we go. didn't save the version of my new islands, but these are pretty cool. It kind of corresponds to the set that most of the Merfolk came out of, which is Lorwyn. Looks like we're playing Jund. Maybe not. I don't know. If we're playing Jund, this is typically a good matchup. Spreading Seas just kind of ruins their day. Right here, I think I want to play. I like to play this for remand, but turn 2 doesn't have a lot of scary things it could do. So I want to do this so I can have double Lord turn 2 and just kind of get aggressive. Make him feel a little safer. Okay, so it's not Jund. I'm honestly not really sure what this deck is. Might be some kind of new innovative 3-color aggro list. There might be Zoo. Splashes black for Tribal Flames. Looks like it's just a red-black aggro. So Spreading Seas won't quite be as powerful, but it can just turn off some of his colored mana. And him pinging himself a lot can be problematic for him. Okay, here I actually might not play anything. And I could remand his Unearth if that's what he chooses to do. It's usually powerful as remanding flashbacks or Unearth spells. You just counter it in its own right and cantrip. I don't think I expect him to do that though. Okay, he is. Okay, oh, it is an ability. Yeah, you can't counter it. That's fine though. I guess Lightning Bolt could be problematic if he shoots down one of our lords while attacking. Probably not worth remanding that. I think I want to remand just a cycle though, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. Alright, put one of my lords into play. I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna up it. This could be a mistake, but I can do some pretty abusive things with these lords. Okay, so I'll go ahead and trickle this into play. See, if I play this, I can untap 1 blue, which isn't really sufficient. But I need to get these guys past 3 toughness so I can stay out of range of Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think I'll tap his guy. Sounds a little better. There's nothing my blue can do. I can threaten the counter spell, but that doesn't really sound that appealing. Okay, it's a little bit of a race now, but my board is much, much stronger. So looks like we're in fine shape. See, can he hit me for 10? You could like Lightning Bolt and activate a Lava Mancer. See, if I tap this and then he activates response, I kill him. Okay, so he just scoops. Mono red or red aggro. Don't really know of anything that would be any better. Sleep's no good. That might be alright. I mean, we already have. Usually we just bring Spreading Seas in here and we already have it, so I can't really think of much else that would make this any better. So I think I'll just keep it. Disrupting Chill would be the only thing, but it's not worth the card disadvantage. This hand is typically fine. I would be a turn behind on the draw, but if I draw an island, it's really good, but I need to see if I can work with what I have here. I think it might just be a bit too slow without the vial. This hand is clearly better. One creature's a little tough, but a lot of times decks like this work with one land, one or two sometimes, and if we mess up his one land, that could just change everything. Alright, so we have the turn one guy here, which is nice. Viling him in. It's also notable against Living End. I've viled him in to counter the Living End, which is usually not expected. Alright, so he's doing his ABC thing here. Untapped land here would be nice. So you don't draw the untapped land. I might actually vile him into block, but if he swings with the Lava Mesa, that is. I actually don't expect him to do that. Okay, let's see. Actually, he might since he's tapped out. However, if I just take the damage, see if I take the damage, I can hit him for 2 and Spreading Seas, one of his lands, but they'll be able to shoot. I don't know, he doesn't have anything in the graveyard. I think at this point I just want to keep bodies, so I am going to eat this down to 12. Alright, that's pretty good. Probably shouldn't have done that, but here I'm going to leave Spell Pierce up. So I will file in the Lord, attack for 2, and start racing him down. He'll probably have Lightning Bolt here or something, which I can Spell Pierce. Or he'll burn his mana and do nothing, which is also fine. Gonna not trigger the vial. Alright, that's pretty good. Okay, here I think I play Spreading Seas. Pre-combat, make my guys unblockable, well, at least this guy. Okay, so he just scoops. Well, that was a little boring, but that's really what Fish does. It just disrupts you, and then all the Lord effects just make all your guys huge. They're unblockable, counter spells in blue, and Vile is just pretty unfair. But I'll probably come out with other videos with this deck. This is probably my favorite modern deck that I have online, so I'll keep you guys updated.